September 1st, 2025 was supposed to be just another date on the calendar, but instead it marked a turning point for every Costco shopper in America. Overnight, trusted foods turned into landmines, cakes crawling with mold, salmon tainted with Listeria, eggs hiding Salmonella, even bottled water harboring bacteria that could creep into your bloodstream. If the shelves of a giant like Costco, built on bulk and trust, can no longer guarantee safety, then what does that say about the food sitting in your fridge right now? Ask yourself, when recalls reach across more than 20 states, when hospitalizations and even deaths are confirmed, are you still safe biting into that family favorite? Or are you gambling with invisible toxins and pathogens that strike hardest at the elderly, the sick, and the poor? How many more recalls will it take before trust collapses entirely? This is the Downturn Report, where the truth gets personal. And today we're exposing 10 foods at Costco you must avoid at all costs after September 1st, 2025. Because your health, your money, and your trust are on the line. Number 1. Ding dongs. September of 2025 began with a headline nobody expected. Hostess yanked ding dongs off Costco shelves after mold was discovered inside packs that had not even reached their printed expiration dates. For shoppers counting every dollar, especially retirees and working families, this wasn't a minor hiccup. It was a betrayal dressed in chocolate. When a snack meant to bring a small joy turns into a potential health hazard, it shakes the ground beneath the trust we thought was unshakable. The recall was announced nationwide in late August, covering multiple product sizes. Those family-sized 16 packs, smaller cartons, and even the single-serve 2 packs. And the timing stings most. These products were sold and eaten right up to September 1st and beyond, meaning countless households may already have consumed them unaware. The issue? A breakdown on the production line created the perfect breeding ground for mold, invisible until it bloomed inside your pantry. That means every unwrapped bite carried a silent gamble. Sweetness or sickness. For older adults, that gamble is no joke. Mold doesn't just look foul, it can release dangerous mycotoxins, compounds linked to allergic reactions, digestive distress, and even respiratory crises for those already struggling with age-related conditions. Imagine a grandparent offering one of these cakes to a grandchild, only to realize later that the snack was a loaded trap. It's not just a spoiled treat, it's an ambush and foil, the Trojan horse of grocery aisles. And here's the sharp question nobody dares to say aloud. If mold can grow undetected in such a mainstream snack, what other shortcuts are happening behind those factory doors? If one machine breakdown can trigger a nationwide recall, how many other close calls are quietly swept under the rug? Regulators may announce an investigation, and executives may promise better oversight. But we've seen this movie before. How many sequels do we have to endure before someone changes the script? The future looms darker if this pattern continues. Today it's mold, tomorrow it could be salmonella, or worse, a chemical contamination that slips past inspections. Shoppers are left playing detective, scanning labels, second-guessing brands that once felt like safe choices. Is this really the America we worked for? Where dessert comes with a disclaimer? Or is this the slow unraveling of food trust in an age where corporations run faster than watchdogs can chase? And yet, people adapt. Some turn to smaller, tightly sealed snacks where any problem is easier to spot. Others lean on fresh bakery items where you can ask the staff about the day's batch. A growing number even bake at home, reclaiming control in a world where convenience has become suspect. In its irony, the recall pushes us toward a strange truth. Sometimes a homemade muffin is safer than a billion-dollar brand. So here's the question that lingers like a bitter aftertaste. Do we continue to hand over trust to giants who stumble, or do we demand a system where safety is non-negotiable? Share your fears, your frustrations, and your predictions. Because if a ding-dong can betray us, the next scandal may already be waiting in the checkout line. Number 2. Tuna. August is barely behind us, and yet the sting of February 2025 still lingers like a bad aftertaste. Costco shoppers discovered that even a humble can of tuna could turn into a loaded weapon. Try Union Seafoods, supplier of Geneva, Van Camp's, H-E-B, and even certain Trader Joe's cans. Had to recall products because the easy open lids weren't just convenient, they were defective. A small flaw in the seal meant air and bacteria could sneak in, creating the perfect environment for Clostridium botulinum, the microscopic killer behind botulism. That's not just spoiled fish. That's a neurotoxin that can paralyze lungs without a single warning smell or taste. The recall spread like wildfire. 7-ounce cans pulled from Costco in Florida and Georgia, then echoed across more than 24 states under different brand names. The Food and Drug Administration posted its alert in early February, followed by AARP, NPR, the Los Angeles Times, and People magazine, all repeating the same bone-chilling phrase, potentially fatal. No illnesses had been reported yet, but that's what made it terrifying. Imagine eating tuna on Monday, feeling fine on Tuesday, and by Thursday struggling to breathe. That's not a risk anyone on a fixed income should have to gamble with just to get affordable protein. For retirees who buy in bulk, canned tuna isn't a luxury. It's the dependable anchor of budget meals, a pantry hero in emergencies. But this recall turned that hero into a silent double agent. Think of it like a wolf wrapped in a thrift store cardigan, cozy on the outside, fangs on the inside. You trusted that ring pull tab to deliver lunch. Instead, it might have been cranking open Pandora's box. And here's the bitter question hanging over it all. If even tuna, America's most ordinary cupboard companion, can betray us, what confidence should we place in the rest of the Costco shelves? Are these recalls the exception, or are they the new routine? If mechanical defects can slip past billion-dollar quality checks, what about the next contamination? Chemical residues, heavy metals, or pathogens waiting for the chance to go unnoticed? Some safe paths forward do exist, and this is where smart shoppers reclaim control. Brands like Wild Planet Albacore and Yellowfin use triple-sealed cans without those flimsy pull tabs. Starkist and Safe Catch tuna pouches avoid cans altogether, heat-treating their product in soft packs. Costco itself sells Kirkland canned salmon in BPA free screw-top lids, offering a sturdier seal. And for those near the coast, local seafood co-ops offer vacuum-packed frozen fish. Transparent, inspectable, and far less likely to harbor a hidden killer. Each of these choices keeps protein on your plate without the roulette wheel of defective metal lids. So let's turn the knife with one last question. What's scarier? That your tuna might poison you, or that corporations expect you to stay alert for their mistakes instead of them preventing them in the first place? Share your stories, demand better recall systems, and ask yourself, if the pantry can't be trusted, is the next betrayal already sitting in your cart? Number 3. Beef sticks. March of 2025 proved that even the most ordinary snack can strike back like a bad punchline. Chomp's Original. Beef and turkey sticks, sold in bulk at Costco and trusted by countless seniors and working families, were yanked off shelves after consumers found something horrifying: metal shards hiding in the meat. Think about that, biting into what you thought was clean protein, only to grind down on cold steel. For people already juggling medical bills, that's not just unsettling, it's a cruel gamble between affordable protein and an emergency dental visit. The recall details were chilling. Idaho Smokehouse Partners, the company behind Chomp's, pulled nearly 30,000 pounds of jerky sticks after reports of metallic fragments lodged inside. These weren't isolated packs. The recall stretched across 22 states, from California to Illinois, sweeping through Costco warehouses with quiet urgency. Federal inspectors confirmed the contamination, and while no injuries were officially logged, the risk was undeniable. A single fragment could cut your mouth, shred your throat, or worse, travel silently inside your body. For retirees on fixed incomes, jerky sticks are more than a snack. They're shelf-stable, portable, and often seen as a safer, leaner choice. But this recall turned them into pocket-sized traps. Imagine reaching for your trusted jerky like an old friend, only for it to stab back like a knife hidden in a handshake. That's not just a breach of trust, it's a gut-level betrayal. And here comes the haunting question. If corporate giants can let actual metal slip into something as basic as a meat stick, what faith should we place in their promises of healthy, natural, or premium? Today, it's metal. Tomorrow, it could be plastic, glass, or worse. Chemical residues that no one notices until it's too late. How many more recalls will it take before consumers stop blindly trusting and start demanding airtight accountability? This is where smart alternatives matter. Instead of rolling the dice with mass-produced jerky, shoppers can pivot to safer options. Roasted chickpea snack packs from Costco's own brand offer crunchy protein with full visibility. Nothing sneaks past your eyes. Vacuum-sealed roasted chicken slices from the deli counter give you real meat you can inspect before eating. A DIY nut and seed mix at home puts every ingredient under your control. And glass jar dips like hummus or black bean spread let you see exactly what you're scooping. Each of these swaps preserves nutrition and convenience without the paranoia of crunching down on hidden hardware. So let's ask straight. When your snack hides metal inside, who do you really trust? Your own careful eye or the glossy marketing on the pouch? Seniors and working-class families deserve food that fuels, not wounds. If a beef stick can betray you with steel, then maybe the real steel should be in your resolve. Demand transparency, demand accountability, and never settle for snacks that gamble with your health. Number 4. Fresh and ready. May of 2025 shattered the illusion that convenience equals safety. Fresh and ready foods. Best known for those neat little bistro boxes, sandwiches, and grab-and-go packs you'd find stacked in Costco. Announced a sweeping recall of 86 ready-to-eat items. Why? Because Listeria monocytogenes, the silent killer of the food world, was discovered creeping through their production facility. The recall didn't stop at Costco shelves. These meals found their way into hospitals, hotels, airports, and even airline trades across Arizona, California, Nevada, and Washington. The very foods designed for on-the-go ease became undercover saboteurs, slipping into the diets of the most vulnerable. The dates of danger ran from late April into mid-May, and by July, the Centers for Disease Control confirmed the nightmare was real. At least 10 hospitalizations and 1 reported death were tied directly to this outbreak. Worse still, some of those who fell ill were already hospital patients, unknowingly served contaminated meals while fighting other battles for their health. Imagine that irony. The meal brought to your bedside didn't nourish. It betrayed. And the FDA's inspection revealed the root cause wasn't a fluke, but a sanitation failure, with Listeria detected on production equipment itself. A sterile-looking kitchen turned out to be nothing more than a Trojan horse for pathogens. For retirees or families scraping by, a pre-packed sandwich isn't just lunch. It's a budget calculation, a time saver, and a small reassurance that one meal is covered. But when that meal turns deadly, the sense of betrayal cuts far deeper than hunger. Think of it like a wolf dressed in multigrain bread, or a fresh and ready label that really meant rotten and risky. It's the equivalent of spinning the revolver in Russian roulette and finding out the bullet was hidden in your turkey club. And here's the question that should freeze every Costco shopper mid-step. If a box stamped fresh can quietly deliver you to the ER, what else is hiding behind the glossy packaging? How many other shortcuts are being papered over with corporate branding? Should anyone have to read fine print recalls just to trust a sandwich? This doesn't mean giving up convenience, it means choosing safer allies. A DIY microwave bento box with hard-boiled eggs, carrot sticks, and cheddar cubes keeps every piece under your control. Vacuum-packed smoked mackerel fillets offer protein with a visible, sealed safeguard. Costco's own Kirkland Greek yogurt cups give portioned nutrition with sturdy factory seals, and their Fruit So Bright fresh cups let you check freshness with your own eyes. Each alternative gives you a way to keep food practical without inviting hidden pathogens to the table. So let's twist the knife. What does it say about our food system when the word fresh becomes the mask for failure? Shouldn't we demand that corporations earn our trust instead of gambling with it? Share your thoughts. Because the next convenient lunch might not just cost you a few dollars, it could cost far more. Number 5. Smoked salmon. Early in 2025, shoppers at Costco who thought they were treating themselves to a rare luxury found themselves staring down the most chilling kind of recall. A class-warranted Kirkland Signature smoked salmon, produced by Acme Smoked Fish Corporation, was flagged by the FDA for contamination with Listeria monocytogenes, a pathogen so insidious it thrives in your refrigerator, waiting quietly to strike. For retirees scraping by, buying smoked salmon was supposed to be a small indulgence, a taste of sophistication without emptying the wallet. Instead, it became a velvet cloak hiding a dagger. The severity was unmistakable. A Class 1 recall is the FDA's highest alert level, reserved for foods that pose a reasonable probability of causing serious illness or death. This wasn't cosmetic mislabeling, and it wasn't about stale flavor. It was about a deadly bacterium sliding unseen into your diet. Listeria doesn't announce itself with sour smells or slimy textures. It sneaks past the senses and attacks those most vulnerable: seniors, pregnant women, and people with weakened immune systems. One bite of that delicate salmon slice on your bagel could have meant meningitis, sepsis, or miscarriage. What makes this sting so much deeper is the betrayal of trust. Kirkland is supposed to stand for value and reliability. Costco shoppers buy it because they believe bulk doesn't mean risky. Yet here was a product that symbolized comfort and a little celebration, now transformed into a Trojan horse. Imagine welcoming a neighbor with a cane, only to discover the cane conceals a blade. That's how it feels when smoked salmon, the so-called safe splurge, turns into a threat. Behind the scenes, the story grows darker. FDA investigators didn't just stumble onto contamination. They found Listeria in Acme's processing environment, and genetic testing linked those samples directly to the outbreak strain. That means this wasn't a freak accident. It was systemic negligence. The factory was churning out invisible betrayal long before the recall notice ever reached Costco's shelves. How many more quiet warnings were ignored before it became a headline? For those on fixed incomes, the financial loss hurts too. That 12-ounce twin pack wasn't cheap, and tossing it means throwing away not only dollars, but also a rare moment of indulgence. It leaves behind a bitter question. When even your luxury treat can poison you, what's left that you can truly trust? Safer paths forward do exist. Vacuum-packed wild sockeye fillets in Costco's frozen section are cooked before sealing, locking safety inside. Canned salmon from Wild Planet or Kirkland is sterilized at high heat and shelf-stable, sparing you the cold fear of hidden bacteria. Buying lox fresh from a local bagel shop lets you eat the same day, no storage risk. Even a marinated tofu lox made at home gives you a playful, plant-based substitute where you control the cooking and the risk. Each of these swaps turns uncertainty into confidence, something no plastic-wrapped salmon slice should ever rob you of. So let's pose the question that lingers like smoke in the air. If your so-called premium indulgence can betray you, should we trust the Costco brand at all, or is it time to take safety back into our own kitchens? Share your stories, demand real-time alerts, and ask yourself if luxury is worth it when it doubles as a loaded trap. Number 6. Apple juice. March of 2025 struck a blow at the heart of American nostalgia. Martinelli's, those iconic round glass bottles that looked more like ornaments than groceries, was forced to recall over 170,000 bottles of its 10-ounce apple juice. The reason? Patulin, a mold-borne toxin that thrives in bruised or rotting apples, had slipped its way into the very drink we associate with innocence and pure tradition. For seniors and working class, families who saw Martinelli's as a little luxury on a tight budget, this wasn't just juice gone bad. It was trust in a bottle gone rotten. This wasn't a minor hiccup. The FDA classified it as a Class 2 recall, announced in April, meaning the product could cause temporary or medically reversible health effects. But for vulnerable groups, even reversible is no comfort. Patulin can trigger nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Worse, it is genotoxic, meaning it can damage DNA. Animal studies have raised red flags about links to cancer, and while human studies remain inconclusive, the very idea that a sip of your pure apple juice might tinker with your genetic code is enough to turn that golden drink into a chilling threat. The scope was national, reaching 28 states from California to Texas, New York to Florida. In other words, no coast was safe. Your local Costco's shelves may well have held the same 4-packs of bulbous bottles, glowing amber like family heirlooms in the pantry, even as they harbored a fungal intruder. Imagine pouring a glass at lunch, expecting wholesome comfort, only to be drinking what amounts to a stealthy chemical saboteur. That's not refreshment, that's betrayal dressed in glass. And the emotional sting cuts deeper because Martinelli's was more than just a drink. It was memory in a bottle. For older Americans, it evoked Sunday picnics and family gatherings. For budget-conscious households, it was an affordable indulgence that looked fancy but didn't break the bank. To have that turned into a risk feels like betrayal from a trusted neighbor who suddenly hands you poisoned pie. The question lingers. If even pure apple juice can fail us, how many other supposedly wholesome staples are quietly cutting corners? How many times have we trusted a glossy label shouting all natural, only to find the fine print hiding fungal fingerprints? If oversight can falter here, what's next? Orange juice, milk, bottled water. But consumers are not powerless. There are safer choices that put visibility and control back in your hands. Fresh pressed apple cider from local orchards. Cartons sold the same day. Offer no time for mold to grow. Pasteurized boxed juices like Mott's in aseptic cartons are heat-treated and shelf-stable, cutting off mold's playground. A simple homemade apple water infusion. Thin slices steeped in filtered water. Gives you refreshing flavor for pennies with no hidden toxins. Or try a vinegar-based apple tonic, a splash of raw cider vinegar and sparkling water. Tart, crisp, and safe because you mixed it yourself. These aren't just substitutions. They're safeguards against corporate shortcuts. So here's the twist to chew on. Would you rather sip nostalgia or swallow sabotage? If even Martinelli's, the gold standard symbol of American juice, can betray us, what does that say about the rest of our pantry? Seniors, families, everyday shoppers, you deserve more than false promises and shiny bottles. Share your stories, demand better alerts, and push for a system where all natural means exactly that, because your drink should refresh you, not quietly rewrite your health story. Number 7. Eggs. Late in 2024, Handsome Brook Farms quietly yanked over 10,000 cartons of Kirkland Signature organic, pasture-raised eggs from Costco after discovering they had been mislabeled and slipped into stores across the South. The FDA didn't mince words. This was a Class Y recall, meaning the eggs carried a reasonable probability of causing serious illness or death. The culprit? Salmonella. A bacterial stowaway that doesn't announce itself until fever, cramps, and vomiting knock you flat. By mid-2025, things only worsened as Country Eggs, LLC recalled large cage-free batches across California and Nevada, linked to outbreaks that sickened nearly 100 people and hospitalized almost 20. For retirees and working-class families, eggs aren't indulgence. They're breakfast security. Cheap, versatile, and rich in protein, they stretch tight budgets. But this recall felt like betrayal in a carton. Imagine cracking a shell only to unleash a Trojan hen, its yolk hiding a bacterial ambush. Suddenly, a symbol of comfort food became a ticking bomb in the fridge. Shoppers aren't helpless. Safer choices include pasteurized liquid eggs in cartons, frozen pre-cooked boiled eggs, or plant-based swaps like silken tofu scrambles and mashed chickpea egg salads. Each alternative strips away the risk of salmonella while keeping meals nourishing. So ask yourself, if even eggs can't be trusted, what's left sacred on your plate? Number 8. Sparkling water. June of 2025 exposed a bitter irony. Even water can betray you. Coca-Cola recalled cases of Topo Chico mineral water sold through Costco after tests revealed contamination with Pseudomonas aeruginosa, a bacterium that slips into the body like a burglar through an unlocked back door. For retirees and working families who saw bulk sparkling water as a small, affordable luxury, that fizz suddenly tasted like fear. The recall spanned about 40 Costco and Sam's Club stores across Texas, Louisiana, Arizona, Nevada, and New Mexico, covering 18 packs of 16.9-ounce bottles sold in late May. Coca-Cola downplayed the risk for healthy customers, but admitted that people with weakened immunity, seniors, hospital patients, or anyone with catheters or breathing support, could face pneumonia, bloodstream infections, or worse. It's chilling. Hydration, marketed as purity, ended up carrying the possibility of hospitalization. Picture those bottles like pristine glass soldiers lined up to refresh you while secretly hiding a bacterial mutiny inside. For customers who trusted Costco and Topo Chico, the betrayal was as sharp as broken glass. Safer sips do exist. Costco purified water jugs, Periches or San Pellegrino cans, homemade lemon mint infusions, or aseptic boxed spring water. Each option offers transparency and safety without turning hydration into roulette. And the haunting question remains, if even bottled water labeled pure can't be trusted, what else in our carts is plotting against us? Number 9. Protein bars. December of 2024 delivered an unsettling shock to Costco shoppers. Nugo Dark protein bars, proudly labeled vegan, were pulled from shelves after undeclared milk slipped inside. The FDA classified it as a serious mislabeling recall, following 11 consumer reports of allergic reactions ranging from hives to hospitalization-level distress. Sold across northeastern states, including New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, these bars turned from safe snack into a silent gamble. For seniors and working families, protein bars are more than convenience. They're affordable energy, an easy way to stretch between meals. To learn that milk, the most common allergen, was hiding in your vegan bar feels like a gut punch. It's the betrayal of a label you thought was ironclad. Imagine trusting a bar that whispers plant-based, only to realize it was smuggling dairy like contraband under a vegan disguise. That isn't a slip-up. It's corporate negligence. Safer picks are out there. Kirkland almond butter cups with clear labeling, individually wrapped rice cakes paired with peanut butter, homemade oat and date energy balls, or sealed chia pudding cups from Costco's fridge section. Each alternative keeps nutrition honest, visible, and under your control. And here's the chilling question. If a protein bar can lie, what else in your pantry is wearing a false mask? Number 10. Cracker sandwiches. July of 2025 tore a hole in one of America's most trusted snacks. Mondelez Global recalled Ritz peanut butter cracker sandwiches after discovering that some packs labeled cheese were secretly peanut butter, a silent landmine for anyone with allergies. Costco shelves carried 8-packs, 20-packs, 40-packs, and even mixed variety cartons. The outer box correctly listed peanuts, but once those individual wrappers left the carton, the warning vanished. One mistake with packaging film turned lunchbox comfort into a hidden threat. No illnesses were reported, but the risk was terrifying. Peanut allergies can trigger hives, throat swelling, or full anaphylactic shock in minutes. For seniors and families on fixed incomes, Ritz crackers weren't gourmet. They were reliable, cheap, and safe. To find them masquerading as death in disguise felt like betrayal in foil. Imagine handing a grandchild a cheese cracker only to realize you placed them in harm's way. That's trust broken, not just by error, but by negligence and oversight. Safer choices exist. Mini rice cakes with almond butter cups. DIY baked tortilla crackers with your own spread. Nut-free seeded crackers. From local bakeries or pretzel sticks paired with sunflower seed butter, all restore clarity and control. Each snack is honest about what it is. No hidden switcheroo. And here's the twist. If even Ritz can't guarantee what's inside, do labels mean anything anymore? Maybe the real solution isn't just demanding recalls, but demanding truth. Bite by bite. When trusted foods betray us, knowledge is survival. Subscribe now, reclaim safety, demand truth, and protect your plate forever.
Thank you for watching today's video all the way through. If you found the content helpful, don't forget to click like and subscribe to stay updated to our latest daily videos. Now feel free to check out other featured videos currently shown on your screen. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.